everybody, I'm Damon Fowler. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Gig Stories from Fowler's Garage. My next featured artist is a good friend of mine. His name is Albert Castiglia. He just won the BMA for Blues Rock Album of the Year. He played guitar with Junior Wells. He played guitar for Sandra Hall, I believe. He lives in South Florida. I've known him for a really long time. He's a good friend of mine. I know he's a road dog, and I know he's got some great stories. So here he is, Mr. Albert Castiglia.
Oh my God. I had to choose. I had a bunch of stories to choose from, but I wanted to get a real good one, real doozy. So about 7 or 8 years ago, maybe 10, I was playing at the Slippery Noodle in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're getting near the end of a set, the end of the show, like 2 songs away from the end of the show, and this beautiful woman walks in with a bunch of dudes, and she's really hot. And she wore this she looked like a mink, and then she must have had a little skirt, but she had a real big mink on. She walked in, she sat down, and she listened to the last 2 or 3 songs, and she really enjoyed it. And she came up to me and she said, "Wow, what a great show, man! Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it." And then the band came, said hello, and so I said, "Thank you for coming." Didn't think anything of it. She goes to the other bar. If you've been to the Slippery Noodle, there were two rooms, and we played in the concert hall, and then there's a bar on the other side of the bar. The other side of the building, there's a smaller bar. So she went to the smaller bar. We were breaking down a little bit some equipment, talking to people, and I had to get paid. So we got most of the packing done, but weren't quite finished. But I wanted to stop for a minute and get paid. So I went to the small bar to get paid. Me and the guys went over there. Now, at the time, me and the drummer were married. We're still married. Although after this story, you might say, how can he possibly still be married? But me and the drummer were still married. We're married, and my bass player was not. And we get to the bar, hang out with some friends, and there's the girl at the bar. And I told my bass player, I said, "You need to go talk to her. She's really cute. She seems very nice." Okay. So he goes in, he talks to her, and I'm shooting the shit with some friends and some fans, and got paid. And me and the drummer went over there and met up with my bass player and this young lady, and we were talking to her and shooting, having a conversation with her. I was like, "Well, what do you do for a living?" He said, "Well, the lady girl says, I'm in the my family's in the jewelry business." I said, "Oh, that's nice. That's great." While we chatted, she was very pleasant, very nice, very classy. So me and the drummer decided we're going to go and finish up the packing and leave him alone. About 20 minutes later, bass player comes in. And so, "How'd it go? Did you get a number?" "Oh, no, not yet. Maybe later." "Well, what's her deal?" He goes, "Well, she's a porn star." I go, "Wow." So we're all like, "Wow." And we're all joking. So, "It would be great if we had a big porn star following." And I was like, "Well, that's great. That's funny. I mean, that's cool. He's a single guy. She's got that's what she's into." I said, "Cool. Well, that's cool." We got a nice laugh out of it, and finished packing, said goodbye to her. Didn't say anything in public. We that kind of people. We're not low class.
Yeah, man. I mean,
"Hey, see ya." Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We kept it on the low. I don't judge,
yeah, man. Whatever.
We said goodbye. We go back to the band house. It's about 1:32 in the morning. I call my wife, like I always do every time before I go to bed. I call her at 2 o'clock. I said, "Hey, babe, we'll talk to you later." Boom. Go to sleep. Now, before I go to the next chapter of this story, my wife is from Arkansas. She has a very soft spoken Southern drawl, not very prominent. But when she gets angry, she goes full on country, full on motherfucking country. Like, kind of like when Ricky Ricardo would get mad at Lucy on "I Love Lucy" and he'd start fucking cussing her out in Spanish. Yeah. Right? So it's like 4 or 5 hours later, like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, I get a call. It's my wife. And she goes, so, you're fucking hanging out with porn stars, are you? And I'm like, what? I was like, what the
Uh-oh.
boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, and I go, what are you talking about? You heard me, motherfucker. You hanging out with porn. My wife does not use these words too often,
Right.
except when she gets really, really mad. It takes a lot for her to get mad. You heard me, motherfucker. I want to know what the fuck's going on over there. I said, look. And then so I like shook up the cobwebs and said, all right, compose yourself. Trying to explain what happened. And I'm like, so, yeah, no, I'm not going to name names in the band. I was like, I don't want to incriminate nobody. I said, no, man, we just, we were, me and so we were trying to hook the bass player up with this girl. And
we didn't know.
She said she was in, well, you can't, we expect a woman to rationalize. Well, you got to find out how she found out, though. My first thought was, how the fuck did she know about this? So I said, I explained to her what's on. I said, well, we met this girl and we introduced her to Matt. Oh shit. and so and blah blah and I go, but wait a minute, how do you even know? And she said, and my wife handles my website emails.
Mine too. Yeah.
Right. Because I ain't got no fucking secrets. So she's like, so she goes, I got an email and this chick said what she was from. And then she had her website link in the email that had XXX on that shit. And she goes, oh, she emailed me saying she was happy to see you and she was looking forward to seeing you in New York, because she's from New York, seeing you in New York and blah, blah, blah. And I clicked on that website and then it was like, like this,
right.
Her pussy all over the place, and she's just going. And I was like, I said, look, I didn't do nothing. I called you 2 a.m, and she wasn't having it. And then it turned into that scene from Uncle Buck, where Uncle Buck's. You ever see Uncle Buck?
Absolutely, I love that movie.
Greatest movie ever. Where's that scene where Uncle Buck's arguing with his girlfriend, and she on the phone, and she won't give him let him talk. He was like, but. That's how it went for 10 minutes. And she just fucking was reaming, this. And I just sat there for 20 minutes listening to her ream me out. I just didn't say a word for 20 minutes, sat there, and when she was finished reaming me out, I said, well, can we put her on our email blast? And she said, you can put her on your personal email list if you want, motherfucker. Boom! And hung up on me. And I was like, oh boy. And so I was on the phone with her some more, and we fought some more, and I didn't get any sleep. By the next 2 days were just a living hell. We got in the van, and I believe we were headed to Pomeroy, do the Court Street Grill or something. And we were in the van, and I hadn't talked to her since the big blow up at the band house. And we're riding in the car, and she calls, with that passive aggressive thing that ladies tend to do. I go, hey. She goes, hey, what's going on? Nothing. So I've been checking up on your girl. I said, oh, really? Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Seems like she won a bunch of awards for sucking cock. And I'm like, and finally I had it with tiptoeing with her. And I said, I just said, fuck it. I'm not going to be nice anymore. And I said, really? You hear that, guys? And I told the guys, you hear that, guys? Turns out the woman's got a bunch of awards for sucking cock. And the drummer had just bought an iPad, and he goes, really? I have to investigate this. And he gets on his iPad.
I can't believe the drummer hadn't already looked this stuff up,
Well, like I said, he's married, but his interest was finally piqued.
Right.
And he started looking. I said, hold on, I'm going to see if this is true. And I still had her on the phone, and he's going in there, and he goes, no, she was nominated 14 times for a adult film star award. I said, your facts are slightly incorrect. She's been nominated 14 times for sucking cock. What? fuck you, motherfucker. I said, she's the, and then I kept going and I just kept that. I go, yeah, that's right. She's the Susan Lucci of cocksuckers. Fuck you. I said, fuck you, and hung up. 2 days.
Oh, man.
Fighting with this, 2 days. And then finally, she came, finally, she realized it was so silly. And when by the time I got to Pomeroy, or got past Pomeroy, we had to go somewhere else from Pomeroy. Right after Pomeroy, she was like, she realized that it was all very silly. And she told, after all this shit we went through, she told everybody at the office, at her job, what happened, and got a big laugh out of it. Now it's the funniest thing ever. And so, yeah.
Dude, that's a great story.
But she makes me, but with that said, even when I'm fighting with my wife, she makes me laugh so much. She is so funny. And when they can manage to make you laugh, even in an argument, that means it's not, she's a keeper. We've never had, she's never had she's always been supportive of me in my career and my endeavors. It was just one of these things that just hit her real.
That was a switch, man. That flicked her switch.
Could you imagine? I mean, if Ron Jeremy, if Ron Jeremy had sent me sent an email saying that, it was nice meeting you at the Publix, Michelle, blah blah blah. It would. I was like, woo. So I mean, I totally understood how she could not understand it for a day or two. But the arguments, when I let's look back on that whole story, it was the funniest fucking thing ever. But at the time, it wasn't. I mean, she always seems to make me laugh, and that's why I love her so much. But yeah, that was one of the rougher, that was a pretty real story.
That's a fantastic story.
Hey, I'm Damon, and this is Gig Stories from Fowler's Garage. If you like the content, please hit the subscribe button, give us a like, and a share.